What is up, guys? North Digital Assets coming at you with a quick update on the market and what Bitcoin is doing. That is what this video is going to be on. Thank you to all the subscribers. Thank you to all the viewers, even though the market has been extremely flat for a while now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for joining the channel. But we're going to take a look at Bitcoin real quick. Bitcoin holding very strong, looks awesome, looks good. Looks good for continuation, holding very strong. Number one, this right here, if I drop this trend line in, boom, perfect, okay? This is back in September 21st, and then wick, more candle bodies. There's a little wick right here on this green one here. I don't know if you can see that, it's pretty small. Anyways, that line held awesomely here on these wicks. I believe that it'll be able to hold again. That is $40,702. That is an area to definitely accumulate. If you're going to be buying it spot and hold, that is an awesome spot, not financial advice, to accumulate, obviously, but it is even more obvious now. And if you are looking to do any leverage trading, that could also be a spot for you. Not financial advice, and only leverage trade if you're experienced. You can obviously risk more money. If you're not experienced, you have to get experience somehow by starting. But be very careful with your money. Not financial advice. Anyways, Bitcoin holding extremely strong. Yes, it did drop below that wick from that December 4th, like I said, but it is holding extremely strong. And what did it do? As it's coming down here, it forms a doji candle. The candle that it just closed yesterday, because this is on the daily, doji candle here. Now, somebody could argue and say that the wick below the body is a little longer than the height up here and that the bears are a little stronger or something like that. No, I like the fact that it is a doji candle and this is crypto. Okay, typically these candles can be, not always, but they can be a sign of reversal to the upside, a reversal in the trend, and it has been in this falling trend here. So not only that, but this little bit of movement here from, this wick went a little lower to like 40,500 down here at the bottom of this green wick, okay? Around 40,500. Coming back up just a little bit to 42,000 currently right now. But with that little bit of movement, you can see the stock RSI on the daily. And I'm not saying that Bitcoin's just going to just take off running, but I'm just pointing out a number of things. We have the doji candle. We have the support line held. We have this blue line coming over the orange line here. The stock RSI is a momentum indicator, and this thing is bottomed out like crazy. I mean, look how low it is. Look here. It's extremely low. Not only that, we can delete that. We can go to the weekly here and take a look. How low can you go? I mean, look at this. Down here on the weekly is going to be an even more important indicator for a longer term trend compared to just a shorter term trend on the daily. That's not going to give you as zoomed out of a look. But like I said, on the daily, bottomed out, RSI low, super low. The stock RSI low on the daily, the weekly, the RSI low on the daily and the weekly. We are looking to get a momentum shift on the weekly here. The RSI. Let's drop a trend line in here and see what it looks like. Something like that there. Yeah, so we are on an area where we have bounced previously. I mean, it lines up perfect where we are sitting now, and we did just get that little bounce. We got the doji candle, so will this be the bounce, this trend line? If you actually zoom out and take a look at this, obviously we haven't gone anywhere. We haven't gone below this line for a while, and we were reaching for it here and didn't even go down to it, and that was before the run, and that would have been right here. This would have been in late July. So let's close out of this. Anyways, Bitcoin is looking good. I love the support it's holding right now. It's holding very strong. The market definitely is down. I was looking at Elron, and that's unbelievable how far Elron has come down. Elron was way higher. But Elron is still nowhere near how low it was in July, as Bitcoin is nowhere near 28K. Yes, things have come down. There is a lot of fear in the market, but typically this fear, it only hangs out for so long. And something has to give. But one other thing we really need to look at here, well, let me pull up the VPVR here. Let's go to the daily real quick. Let's go here. So the VPVR, where we are at now, it should be able to cut through. Let me erase this. Let's get rid of these lines here. So it should be able to cut through. Let's get this a little closer. This area where we are at now is rather easily here. We are here. It should be able to cut through this here. That's a lot less resistance than this massive peak. So that super resistance starts at, well, I would say it starts about right here. That's where that super resistance starts. That's 46,635. But cutting through this should be much easier, looking at the VPVR here, that it cuts through there. 40, it looks like that 47. Let's see here, that 47 area all the way up to 49.5 is the huge resistance to get over, and the most resistance that we see anywhere else on the chart. Once you clear 61,000, that's you should just be able to run. Not much resistance here, as you can see. You do have resistance. You're going to have that resistance at that 47 to 49.5. You're going to have resistance at 54,840 and a big resistance peak at $57,200. And why not point out this last one too? You're going to have some resistance there at 61. Not only that, these lines can also act as support. So when you do break that area and you back test it, that is good, because you are back testing the support of that peak there. So one more thing to look at, the DXY. This thing, I believe, is overheated. Okay, so we do have that red candle. Pretty big red candle for the day. I think it's overheated on the weekly, and we're going to look at that in just a second here. Yeah, like I said in videos recently that I think that this thing is overheated, and let's go to the weekly and I'll show you why. Like I said, this thing is floating on the weekly. It's still just floating up in the sky here, and that's that giant wick. That's a correction wick there that you just see all that come down, and it's not turned red yet, but it could turn red. This is the weekly. Each candle's a week. So this thing really just played out well for itself. If I drop this in here, drop this in here, let's see here. Let's measure this. See how close this got. So had a W double bottom, measure that, stretch that out here, set it on that line. Pretty close, pretty close. Let's see here. So it had a W double bottom, bottomed out, started moving back up on the weekly. On the weekly, it had this massive signal for itself on October 11th. If you're new to these videos, the DXY, the US dollar currency index, usually moves opposite of Bitcoin a lot of the time, especially a lot of the time when the DXY is going down is when Bitcoin goes on its runs. But this thing to me is overheated because, like I said in previous videos, this is the weekly. Usually on the DXY, you're usually very supported on the 20 EMA, the green line. You're very supported usually on it, or like through here. When you get way away from it, it usually cuts back. But you have, look at all this space. You have this massive pocket right here. and you're just floating up here. So that's just another thing that could help Bitcoin, because like when this thing comes back down to at least to the green line, the 20 EMA, that'll take some time. And if it comes down to the 55 EMA, the red, that'll give Bitcoin in the crypto market tons of time to start to make a run, start to make some movement. And you can see when you do get way overextended on the DXY, you do come down to the 55 EMA. You come much lower for support. You go up this, you have this nice run, you come back to the 55 for support. Another nice run, come back to the 55 for support, and you explode this high, and you exploded so high, you come down so hard, you fall through the 55, no support, and just roll all the way down to here because you got overextended. Now, it's not that overextended right now, but it's up there. So the DXY could take some time to, let's zoom in here a little closer. The DXY could definitely take some time to roll all the way back down to this 55 EMA, since this is the weekly, each candle is a week. So just a few bars here, just a few bars to even get to the 55. That could be a month's time. I mean, it just depends here. For example, like over here, it started to fall. You have 1 week, 2 week, 3 weeks here before you even hit it. Then a green one, and then another red candle. You're just finding support on there. So that whole thing, you're finding support on the 55 for, it took a few weeks to get down there, and then a few weeks to find the support. So anyways, that's about all I have for this video. I want to go back to Bitcoin real quick to end the video on Bitcoin. Looking pretty good, 42,000, showing tons of support, showing tons of strength. When I first got into the crypto market, I may have looked at it a little differently, but the more you get a feel for this market, I like where Bitcoin is at right now. I think that it is finding and holding a lot of support, and it's yes, it's way down from 69,000 where we were before, a little earlier this year, but this is the strength that it's showing right now, and the support is massive. I think it's doing well. It's looking good. So anyways, that's going to be it for this video. We covered, the trend line. We covered the doji candle. We covered the DXY. We covered the RSI and the stock RSI on both the daily and the weekly chart. And those look really good too, because they're just bottomed out. They have nowhere else to go. They can hang out down there for a little bit of time, but at some point something's going to give with all those bottomed out, especially on the weekly. The weekly, much more important than the daily when it comes to this sort of thing, because it's showing you more of a macro trend. So we can even look at the monthly real quick and then close this video. Let's go to the monthly on Bitcoin. Remove drawings, reset. So definitely not falling below, look at this, falling below the 20 EMA. I don't have the 55 EMA on here. I need to go to, there we go. Okay, so I didn't want to draw that. Okay, so on the monthly here, if we zoom in, the 20 EMA is at, on the monthly, the 20 EMA is at 38,285. That is probably your last line of all defenses before you could start to enter a bear market or a bear cycle if you stayed down there too long. But right now, you're holding strong on the monthly. You're floating well above it. And this is a real zoomed out look. I don't usually hit this one, but this is a real zoomed out look. This is a real, this is more of a bear looking market. Right now we're still up here, and it's looking pretty good, but we just need to zoom out and be more patient, especially when you look at the monthly. Each candle's a month. When you think about, you could sit around on this 20 EMA, but in the bigger picture, you're going to end up here, out here. Look at the trajectory of this thing. This looks like Plan B's, some of his models. They come up and they're kind of flat, and then they come up and they're kind of flat. They'll come up and be kind of flat, and there'll be ups and downs in here. But very interesting. I think this thing's going into a good direction long term. So we just need to zoom out and be more patient. And anyways, that's going to be it for this video, guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Like, subscribe, leave a comment below, let me know what you think, and yeah, smash up that like button. I know the interest is down on YouTube right now. That happens. A lot of people just take a break from crypto, but we'll get warming back up here. We just got to give it some time. So anyways, that's going to be it, and we will see you in the next video. See ya.